Welcome, welcome to the Lilydale Astrology Cafe. I'm your host, Patricia Bell. Yes, I am a resident medium in Lilydale, as well as a vintage astrologer for over 5 decades. And we are here for you tonight, and I am with one of my dearest friends, Cassandra Butler, who I constantly refer to as my star reporter because of her love and magic with astrology. Oh, yes, I want you to learn more about her. And so here we are today, and welcome, Cassandra. Good to see you.
Great to see you, my beautiful friend.
Mhm.
And I remember when we first met, it was just like so exciting to meet another like-minded astrologer. And you're so much fun, and I'm so thrilled to be here.
Well, we're thrilled to have you here. And there's so much going on in the sky
Uh,
that it's going to be really uh, an awesome time to talk since we've done this a whole lot together when we were on Zoom.
yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's a breathtaking year of changes and so many once in a lifetime events happening as we're living through them, Patricia. Oh my.
Yes, but Todd, come on, share a little bit about yourself, Cassandra.
Okay.
I mean, yes, you're one of Buffalo's favorite daughters. You are a star reporter, and yes, you have all kinds of talents that you have shared. So, elaborate what got you into all of this? What
Sure.
made you go from what you have, I mean, your master's degree to all of this that you're doing now?
That's a great question. I think astrology has always been a love. I mean, always, lifetimes. The first time I was really introduced to astrology, you'll giggle with this, Patricia, because you know that's called a nodal opposition, was when I was 9 years old. And I went on the radio to talk to a local talk show host, John Otto, and I said, I believe in astrology. 9. And all I knew was the sun signs. I grew up with Linda Goodman, like many of us did, and just astrology light. And it's always been an interest, but it became a profession when I was in my broadcasting years. So I was on the radio in Buffalo in 1984, 85 to 1987. I always had my ephemeris, and I know you know what that is. A lot of new astrologers don't. It's a big book. So I'd be back in the newsroom listening to, again, another antique device, a police scanner to figure, yes, of course. This is a true astrologer, friends, okay? Some people just use their computers, but you want to take a look at the ephemeris. And I would be listening with one ear to like the Buffalo crime scene and et cetera, because back in the day we did not have computers. And then I would be with my ephemeris figuring out what's happening. And so I was a closet astrologer. I like to say I was in the closet until 1987. Then I came out of the closet because astrologically, Pluto was on top of my sun, and simultaneously I was having my Saturn return. What that means, friends, that was a big once every 250-year shift in my life. And I started writing for a local paper. Again, light astrology, horoscopes, but I developed a clientele, and that was 1987. And I haven't looked back. I've done other things, as you know, the healing, the massage, Reiki, mediumship, but that's always been my uh, North Star, the astrology.
Yes, and I know that part of your astrology has worked with your healing,
Mm-hmm.
or as your homeopathic remedies
Mm-hmm.
and doing them in alignment with the stars and the person was very significant for some of the people that I have met that know you.
Yes. Yes, and you and I have many things in common other than astrology. And one of them, of course, is Chinese medicine. But I worked at one of the local colleges and I was the teacher of shiatsu, which is finger pressure, the same points that acupuncturists use. And then I developed a little formula, which I'll be sharing with the people at Lilydale this upcoming summer, by the way, on how astrology and the 12 main meridians kind of bisect, how they come together. And that's been a good service for people because our points in our body, there are like points on the earth, right? There's sacred places on the earth, and there's sacred as above, so below, and sacred places and medicine points on our bodies. So I try to combine those with the astrology.
Well, it's totally awesome because when we connect who we are with those points, with Mother Earth herself, change of seasons, things like that, it allows us to be the best that we can be. And yes, that when people consciously can become aware of their astrology, they feel, I think, you can answer this, feel better. That they know, okay, this is happening in my life now. Um, I'll get through it. Cassandra shares some clues, Patricia shares some clues, and everything is going to be all right.
Exactly. I think we are definitely in alignment. I think most good astrologers have this alignment. That astrology is not just certainly about prediction, but about description and describing what you're going through and how you can use and co-create the cycles to be, like you said, your best self. It's a very healing modality, astrology itself.
Yes, and as Carl Sagan said, we are made up of 47% stardust.
Yeah.
So it's not like we are alienated from the stars. We are truly a part of them. And that's why it is such a pleasure. And I think a blessing that Spirit has allowed you and me to be able to understand this roadmap to ourselves, to the stars.
Exactly. And don't you think, I I think we chose well to learn and teach and incorporate astrology in our lives because the older we get, the more we can share because we've lived through so many of the cycles.
Absolutely. And that's what I think one of the advantages of being a vintage astrologer is. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
been there, done that, got the t-shirt. So when Pluto hits your sun and you're in your Saturn return, call Cassandra because she's got that t-shirt.
Right, I've got that t-shirt. And both of us have gone through at least two Saturn returns. And knock on wood, we'll go through a third in our 90s. Because we've been
Absolutely,
there, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. And what is also interesting, which I've asked you to talk about, is what's happening now. What is going on in this new moon on February 17th that I mean, it's almost as though it's palpable. We're feeling
Yes.
the pulse of it somehow.
Patricia, so, and you are the diva of Chinese astrology. I love learning from you, but it's my understanding, right, that every new moon in February, we usher in the new cycle for Chinese astrology. This year on the 17th, it's always in Aquarius. And Aquarius is the sign of many things, but energy. And so we're really looking to the 17th because it's not just a new moon, but it's a solar eclipse. And that ushers in a whole new cycle for the next year and a half of surprise, surprise, surprise.
Yes, and as we both know, Uranus and Taurus is going direct today. And so that we're talking, but that's going to impact all of this Aquarius planets.
It's forming a little 90-degree angle. It's called a square. So you say it's palpable. I think everyone is feeling on the seat of their pants. I mean, whatever you're going through privately, you're going through. Myself, you, anyone is feeling like this vibration, and we're seeing it reflected in the outer world with a lot of its vibration for good and for bad, and it's wild. But friends, I think we have to exhale and know this is a cycle that's like no other. This new moon squaring Uranus, it's saying, how can we bring our brains, our minds in alignment with the reality of Taurus, Aquarius, trying to blend those two. And to keep detachment is a good tool, I think, to keep objective, humanitarian love, agape love for everyone without losing our groundedness. I'm just like seeing the images in my mind.
Exactly. And Taurus is talking about our physical body.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if there was ever a time you wanted to look into homeopathics or herbology or looking at what is it, as you've said, I need to ground. Is it grounding foods? Is it let's really take care of the consciousness that we have that keeps us grounded.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I think that by being kind to our body, it emanates kindness to the subconscious that allows us the community. And we're talking 28 degrees of Aquarius. This is community,
Yes.
community,
Yes.
community.
Yes. The other day, well, as we were recording, of course, well, not the whole, I mean, California missed it, but it's been a cold wave, right, in the east, and a very dangerous one indeed. And I forced myself on Sunday to take a walk outside. And again, I'm Buffalo born and bred. I like snow. I like to ski. But this old body of mine was like, are you crazy to walk outside? But my walk in the snow in the woods was so wonderful because I realized I had to do something with all these thoughts and this vibrational concern, and I grounded myself by walking. So to your issue about taking care of our bodies, this is what that new moon's promise is on the 17th, to combine the vibration of thought, but grounding it with the Taurus.
You're so right about this cold front because here I am talking to you from Florida and it was 20 degrees this other morning. And it's as though I think the planets and the earth are talking to us.
Mm-hmm.
Are you know, become one, understand, you know, maybe this chill in the air is a wake up call because with all the snow, that's emotion. And we're looking at where do we put it? How do
Mm.
we transmute these energies so
Mm-hmm.
that we can be community minded? I love Buffalo people. I love people in general, but being from Buffalo, you understand that people who grew up in Buffalo,
Yeah.
they care for one another.
Yeah.
And I
City of
think part of the
neighbors.
snow is about that, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have I'm going to do a shout out to my neighbor Jeff. God bless him. He's always I have my cars in my driveway, but he always kind of snow blows around. I never asked him. He just does it. That's kind of like the Buffalo persona, and it really is true. And so I think that it's a special place because it's a tourist down to earth town. And it's got this Leo rising, a lot of pride in Buffalo, if you've not noticed, especially with their sports
Go
teams.
Bills.
especially their sports teams. But yeah, it's we are living through very exciting, eclectic, electric times, and we have to keep our wits about ourselves and blend consciously those two energies of groundedness, I believe, and community, humanitarian love of others. And you're a great example of doing that, as I try as myself, because again, these are the lessons of astrology. It's not just looking at someone's chart. We want to look at the bigger picture for people too.
Well, you and I were very much involved in the eclipse in Buffalo.
Yes.
And each eclipse has a time frame of how long it is. I understand this eclipse is happening in Antarctica, but how long this energy is going to last is one question. But the
Mm.
other question is, Cassandra, how does this affect your personal chart?
Yes.
What is the knocking on the door saying, hi, there's something here for you to look at? And
Mhm.
if it's significant in your chart, or the Uranus and Taurus is significant, when we did that conference in Buffalo, that
Mhm.
about Uranus going into Taurus, I was very much into growing herbs in your own home.
Mhm. Mhm.
And we were looking at financial things, and
Yes.
we were looking at relationships and things of this nature. So here we are at these last degrees.
Mhm. Mhm. Exactly.
So what
Of
to
looking
say
at
to you?
money and food and relationships. So we should mention that Uranus is in a sign for about 7 years. So this is the last hoorah of Uranus and Taurus. And so the lessons, and I'm sure you think of this too. I think of the astrological aspects and changes as the universe giving us lessons to try to incorporate what it's saying in our lives. So the other thing that's so significant about the 17th of February and new moon solar eclipse is the first eclipse in 19 years rather, that starts a new gestalt, a new story time for all of us when the eclipses and the nodes of the moon are moving into Aquarius and Leo. First time in 19 years. So we're starting a new cycle. And part one is the 17th of February.
It is. And as you mentioned, yes, I am involved in Chinese astrology, and it
Mm-hmm.
is the year of the fire horse.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, to me, this is the year of spiritual involvement,
Okay.
or spiritual consciousness, or conscious involvement, where we get to make a choice. How
Uh-huh.
am I take care of myself? How am I take care of others? And but consciously, how do I pace myself?
Mm.
Because when you have a fire horse, um, if you don't pace yourself, you don't win the race. Uh,
Uh-huh.
think about the race horses. They have to pace, that they have to know. And so we are sort of like the internal jockey of our own lives in some ways, that we have to look at it. And when we have significant aspects hitting us, we have to know how to handle it. And, downtime to me, preparation to me, and understanding who you are to me is right on top of the list.
Yes. Because Aquarius represents, like you said, thoughts and the mindfulness. And of course, it represents also technology, i.e., AI. That's another story altogether. But it represents truth and freedom. And it may be tying that into the horse galloping. I think of a fire horse. I think of this horse galloping on fire. Is that kind of like the feeling tone of this year?
Well, it's about freedom.
Ah,
And
right.
that, it's also can be opportunities that if we expand our consciousness, if we know what's going on in our astrology chart, we can open ourselves up for the opportunities that are going to present.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to share a little bit here. I happen to know you are a fire monkey, and I
Mm-hmm.
know that this fire horse is going to bring you lots of opportunities
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
bring that so that you can bring your value to the consciousness of others.
Right.
But as I would say to you, you have to pace yourself because you have this charming grandson that you adore. And, you know, it's like that's the importance.
Right.
It's
Right.
like, yes, I want to be out there with these opportunities, but I also want to be within my home, my family, my
Right.
inner light, the things that make me passionate.
Yeah.
You are a passionate person because of your love of home and family.
That's
And
very
that
true.
motivates you. You know, it motivates you in a way that very few people know. And so we're telling you secrets.
It's true. You know, it's very funny, Patricia. I go back to my much younger self, like, early 20s. I was always ambitious, I always wanted to share at that time, news and then I got into the astrology. I was going to share that. But I had this part of me that did not want to exit this world without having children. And I got them. I got a son and a daughter who are my everything. And my son presented me with Leo. Yes, he's a Leo, 3.5 years ago. And it was really funny how my son told me that he and his girlfriend at the time were pregnant. He says, Mom, I'm going to make you a grandmom. I go, what? You're making me a grandmother? It wasn't like I'm having a child. I'm going to make you a grandmom. And I am so close with my grandson, which I know you're also so close with your grandson. What a gift. What a blessing. And I spent some time with Leo today, and he's always teasing me. And I don't know. It's just such a delight. I don't remember my kids being cute. Can I tell you that? But he's cute.
Well, that's because we were so young and
Yep.
concerned about doing the right thing and making sure they had food and housing and doing the practicality. That's the
Mhm.
blessing of being a grandparent.
Yeah.
And I always say, your children steal your heart, but your
Mhm.
grandchildren touch your soul.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they really bring out that inner destiny. Now,
Hmm.
there are going to be people watching this that don't have grandchildren, but I do suggest that go inside and tap into the inner child,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know, because this is so important to our imagination, our creativity, and how we're going to move forward in our fire horse. Because if we can dream it, it can happen. But
Hmm.
we have to feel that fire in the belly to want
Hmm.
to do it. This is not a year in which we don't do anything.
Right.
And I'm not saying that people who stay at home aren't going to do anything, but it's their time as well to be their authentic self, to do what they need to do to consciously elevate themselves and their family or their friends or their puppies or their animals
Right.
or their community in some way.
This, we talked a little bit about the eclipse that ushers in this theme of Aquarius, but the other big theme, like you just said, without actually saying it, I think, is this is the year of Leo, right? We get Jupiter going into Leo on January or June 30th. We have the South nodes in Leo this year, and you are an expert with Leo, with your Leo rising, but Leo is the heart's desire. So, like you said, you don't have to have a grandson, you don't have to have a career, but find that which makes your heart sing this year. And that will get you through any other movie that's going on outside of you. Tap into your inner heart.
Exactly. And as you know, I have taught a class on the heart speaks at this exact degree of
Right.
28 Leo. So to me, this is so incredible as far as timing. Hello, we're going into a fire horse. You have to do what makes your heart sing.
Mm-hmm.
And this singing and this voice is so important.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's so fabulous that we're
Right.
looking at the vibration of the stars that are communicating the resonance of what it is that we need to address at this time.
Mm-hmm.
And that, you know, as of February 4th, that was the end of the year of the snake.
Okay.
And I recommend that everybody wear red on this time, but it is to remind you of the heart.
Mm-hmm.
It is to remind you, you know, I think that we're a wonderful population of people.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we make bad choices, but guess what? We have the freedom to choose differently,
Right.
and we have the freedom to love. And
Mm-hmm.
so maybe we've had a bad breakup, or we dated the wrong guy, or we walked into the wrong job, or blah, 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 blah. But guess what? It's taking us to our core,
Mm-hmm.
our heart essence, where
Right.
emotionally our heart can speak to us. And with having left the old skins behind, we don't have to carry uh, the negativity into this new time.
Right. No, it's what would you suggest that people do maybe a little ritual or something on the new moon? Um, Light a candle. What do you suggest your students do? I'm just curious. I want to learn from you as well.
Well, the Chinese New Year is a spring festival,
Hmm.
and so it's very celebratory. So the night, New Year's Eve, most people get together with their family,
Hmm.
just like any other New Year's. But
Right.
you know what's amazing is that it's not just the Orientals. But Native Americans always celebrated during this first new moon in Aquarius
I didn't know that.
because they
Oh,
made the choices for their community.
interesting.
So I guess on New Year's Eve, if I was hanging out with my family, which I know you will, I would say, what are the choices we want to see for this
Hmm.
coming year?
Hmm.
You know, how do you want to be better? How do I want to be better? What is it that this family would like to create?
Hmm.
And then on the new year, we bring in other parts of the family, aunts, uncles, things like that, and we celebrate. And
Hmm.
this continues to the full moon,
Hmm. Hmm.
asking us to be able to look at it's a spring festival. It's a time of planting. What do you want to plant? And because it is at these last degrees, to me, it's a planting of consciousness.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, the conscious plant, a conscious planting. I like that. And then the full moon on the 3rd of March is also an eclipse, and that's activating the grounding energy of Virgo. So to purify and to create health of mind, body, and spirit. What are we eating? How are we moving? How are we sleeping? So we get some downloads 2 weeks later after that new moon.
It's interesting because we're talking about very earthy planetary actions
Mm-hmm.
before we get into this fire wind series that's coming up for the rest of the year. It's sort of like, okay, pay attention to detail. And I've always said this. I love Virgos. I know my friend Cassandra has Virgo in her chart.
Lots
And
of it.
yes, because love pays attention to detail.
Yes,
Love
yes.
love is the part that looks over your children, yourself, your body, your
Mhm,
community, who checks
mhm,
in with people who are in trouble. Come on,
mhm.
when the snow falls in Buffalo and the Bills are playing, where do they clean the stadiums? The
Right.
people in Buffalo, because they pay attention to the detail to what they love. I know,
Yes.
but we can take it to a whole other level.
Yes.
We
Yes.
can. And that's why when the heart speaks at this degree, and we are going to see during that full moon the details of our health, of what we need to pay attention to, what we need to fix.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Great download, March 3rd.
Absolutely. Because Jupiter's still in Cancer and it's still asking us to look at the emotions of it all.
Right. Right. So yeah, this year has so many twists and turns, but it has that reflection of that first new moon of the new year in Aquarius, asking us to kind of be patient with things because it's squaring Uranus. Be patient with the changes and keep your mindfulness on the prize. Keep your eyes on the prize and don't get thrown off too much by many, 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 many changes because they're coming, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yeah.
and I think my focus is your heart's going to speak to you,
Mm-hmm.
all about paying attention to details, the love, and everything. Now,
Mm-hmm.
as far as one of my recommendations, I'm going to segue into one of the classes that Cassandra's teaching in Lilydale about astrology and homeopathics and things like that. Yes. And
Yes.
teaching during astrology week. We are so excited about the nodes because
Yes.
this eclipse, as you just said, is connected to the nodes. And it's like, oh, baby, whoa, baby, we're going to have
Right.
a wild, fun year.
Yes. Oh, I'm so looking forward to the astrology week. Everything in Lilydale I look forward to every year. I've been a part of Lilydale since I've been 13, by the way. My first meditation teacher was Bill Colvin, a registered medium, so many, many years ago. Wonderful Bill. Thank you, Bill, in spirit. But this astrology week, my contribution is going to be on making the storyline accessible to everyone. What do I mean by that? Sometimes people get a little put off by astrology because it sounds so technical, but I like making astrology down to earth, just explaining it in an easy breezy way. Because on July 27th, the nodes or moon or emotional focus shifts from Virgo Pisces to Aquarius Leo, first time in 19 years. So that parts of your charts, friends, is going to be activated in a new way. And we're going to learn how to embrace the Aquarius parts in a new way. The mindfulness of eccentricity, eclectic vibration, and that's affecting everything, right? Even how we're healing. As above, as so below, as a man thinketh, so a man is. So you're going to see more and more innovative ways for healing, like sound and light healing. We're already seeing that, but that's going to be a really big deal, I think, in the next couple of years.
Yes. And before you even get to the change of the nodes, you have Uranus squaring the existing nodes of Pisces and Virgo.
Yes.
Is happening in April. And it's like, why is that important? Because, right, you're going to feel it's like preempting. It's like the trailer before we get to
The
much when you
trailer
go
before the
to.
movie, right?
So it's paying attention to how Uranus in Gemini, which is communication, is really
Mhm.
talking to you. And
Right.
because I don't know, it's in Pisces and Virgo, I say pay attention to the details
Mhm.
and use your own personal intuition in
Yes,
regards to communication.
absolutely. use your, and then speaking about one's own, a huge shift, first time in 6,000 years shift happens already on the 20th of February, which is a Saturn-Neptune conjunction at 0 Aries. Aries, as everyone knows, is the first sign of the zodiac. 0 is the first degree of a 360 wheel. That is huge, friends. The last time it was at 0 Aries was in 4163 BC. So it's like over 6,000 years ago. So it's giving each of us an opportunity to collectively love oneself, starting with loving oneself, seeing one's own gifts and part of the fabric or matrix of everybody else, and to thine own self be true. That's one thing. It's like dreaming a new dream and grounding it, a new version of ourselves.
Exactly. So we are very, you come into Lilydale and you're able to talk to the astrologer and the non-astrologer, Cassandra, and you give like 200% in all of your classes, I know, and people just walk away loving you because you personally inspire and touch their hearts.
Yeah.
Now, you do. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So, not only do we look forward to you teaching during Astrology Week, I recommend everybody check out the Lilydale website to see all the classes that you're teaching in Lilydale. But yet, as we come to the closing of this time together, I would like your recommendations of if you could give a message to somebody who is an astrologer or to a young person, to anyone that could be listening to this, how would you ask them or to think about a question or something like that for this coming time?
This upcoming time, especially someone who doesn't understand or study astrology, just know that each human being is never alone, that we have a universe that's got our back. And the cycles of astrology, that's why I'm so glad I've been doing it for a long time, always gives us support and messages, even through the dark, difficult times too. And so to me, being I love your word, legacy or older woman astrologer, is it's been this guiding light in my life that I know that we're literally not alone. The universe has our back. And so be advised of that. No matter how brilliant the tech bros are, or this one or that one, or the specter of AI, they did not coordinate those planets to move in a certain way. Something else did.
Well, this is terrific. And yes, my dear people, Cassandra is on the AI panel
Yes.
during Astrology Week. So she will be sharing even more of that. And I think this is great because we're having a conversation about how we are going to be able to live life from the heart and to move in with AI and everything else that is brought, God's Spirit has brought to us. And
Exactly.
that there's that old native saying that we know God loves us because he keeps giving us children. And obviously, you see that through your grandson,
Yeah.
Cassandra.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you for being here.
Oh,
And
fun. Great
I
talking to
can't,
you.
yeah, I know. Maybe we'll get to talk again before I get to see you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You have a great day, great time, and more to be revealed. Yes?
Yes, Patricia, thank you. And we love Lilydale. Yes.
Yes, we do. Such blessings. Bye for now.